Mr. Sanford, given the current economic state, as well as the current budget shortfalls, what can the state of Alabama do to improve its funding of the universities?
Given the current economic state, I think it's important that the state of Alabama find more creative ways to entice business growth. I think we need to find a way to lower the tax base of small businesses. It's one of the ways that will help my business. If I can get more cash in my business, then I'll have a better opportunity to expand it and grow it. If they can lower the burden of taxes on individuals in the state, then they'll be more encouraged to go out and spend money to actually generate the economy. I think, again, we kind of go back to the budget. If we can't get a budget right, then we're really not going to have the opportunity, the resources, or the means to try to offer up any incentives for growth. I think it's important that the state government provide a more solid ground of infrastructure so business can launch from that with the roads and the school systems. If we can't properly get people to and from work with the roads, if we can't educate their children when they get here, then they just pick their businesses up and they go elsewhere. So we really need to find a way to be more efficient with the way we spend money in the state. We need to be more effective with the way we spend money in state. And I think it's going to take somebody with a business mindset to get to Montgomery that actually has to balance X's and O's on a daily basis. And we need somebody that doesn't look at the people of Alabama as just people who funnel money into the state, but as the people of Alabama whose jobs, whose families, whose livelihoods are on the line. Like I look at my employees on a daily basis and make the decisions that are vital to keep businesses and government sustainable for the best interest of the citizens of Alabama.
Mrs. Hunt?
Oh, where to start on this issue? Let me start with Justin. Justin, the students that you teach or that you're involved with, are they interested in scratching on a chalkboard, or are they interested in technology? Technology. All right. So we got to get more technology in the classrooms, don't we, Justin? Absolutely. That's one place to start. Capital expenditures are probably not a real good idea when we're in a budgetary shortfall. You've got to probably freeze your capital expenditures, and that'll probably mean some curriculum freezings. You know, we can't buy textbooks. We might have to use those older textbooks for a couple more years. It doesn't make sense to be adding on to schools or doing things where we're building new buildings in spite of the fact that we've got kids in trailers. I hate that, but we probably can't be doing those capital expenditures in times when we're in a budgetary shortfall. Now, a lot of the problems go back to the years when we were flush. We were flush after 2003 for many years, and we didn't plan very well. We didn't put our money away when we had the opportunity. We need to do a better job with saving. America saves, I save, I put money in my savings account as best I can in this economy. Our legislature should be doing the same. We've got to figure out better ways to manage, and I agree with you. You know, not all solutions cost money. You know, you can find ways for schools that have great PTAs and PTA involvement. You can find ways to reward those schools in ways that are not very expensive. How about a little money for tutoring? How far would that go, Justin? Long way, right? Yeah. So I am for solutions, and there's so many of them. I'm getting my time cut off, so I'll stop here. But yeah, we've got to find a way to do it better, do it cheaper, and do it more efficiently.
Mr. Dean?
First, I would repeal the salary increases that the legislators
Here.
I would also look at taxing gaming for additional revenue. We currently have gaming in the state, and I will support taxing gaming and also timber companies. We have farmers that are paying extreme amounts of taxes, but we don't. The timber companies like Georgia Pacific and Louisiana Pacific are not paying taxes. I would also look at programs that are not effective and look for cuts in programs that are not effective. I think that a lot of times we spend money on things that, but we don't never assess the success of those programs. So I would put together a rubric, an assessment tool to measure the effectiveness of certain programs. And if those programs are not performing, I would propose cuts from those particular programs. I also would look to seek preventative measures for dropout rates, because a lot of times these kids that are dropping out of school end up in our correctional facilities. We can save money in those particular areas if we take a more active or proactive role and focusing on more preventative measures, which will lessen the cost of incarcerating, and we can spend more money on educating, which in the long haul will help us in our budget problems.
Mr. Wright? Thank you.
We've heard very good discussion here. We have to increase the business base. That's the main thing. We have to stimulate the economy. We have to grow our corporate tax base. The Republic of Ireland has a corporate tax rate of about 14%, and the U.S. is over greater than 49%. That is starving our companies and our ability to grow our tax base. The education budget must be cleaned of pork. I agree we have to freeze capital expenditures this time. Tax and gaming, as long as the gaming is existing, I'm fine with that. I'm just not a pro-gambling, and I'm not for the lottery. We need an education reserve, so we need to keep a reserve back for our education. On something that you may not think of, curbing illegal immigration, because that has a significant impact upon our total budget here in the state of Alabama. I'm a proponent of making a state felony knowingly employing or transporting an illegal alien. This was done in the state of Oklahoma, had a significant impact on their expenditures. Thank you.
Mr. Daniels is requesting a rebuttal, so.
Yeah, I want to make sure that we're on the record that I didn't mention anything about any lottery or anything like that. Just
Oh, no, I was just talking about, I said I agreed
Make sure
with.
that you understand.
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Okay, but I would say this about a lottery. I support a lottery that's voted on by the people in the different counties. I would support that. I haven't started yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm waiting for my chance.
Oh, okay. Do you want a rebuttal as well?
No,
I didn't get to speak yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Mr. Richardson.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I would.
I think in order to solve a problem, you have to recognize what the problem is. The problem that we have in our economy is a structural problem. There is rapid unemployment. At no time since the Great Depression have we seen the unemployment numbers rise so quickly in such a short period of time. That suggests to any attentive observer that there is a structural shift going on in the economy. And what I mean by this is very simple. The jobs that we once could depend on, you could come out of high school, you could have not very good skill set, and you could go to work in manufacturing. You could work there, you could earn a living wage, you could raise your family, and you could have a pretty successful life. Those jobs are now going overseas. Companies here in America are competing with overseas companies that have low taxes and also have low wages. It's hard for a company here paying the minimum wage here in America to compete with the company overseas paying a couple of dollars a week to an employee, and that does not have the same tax burden. And so I believe if we're going to stimulate our economy, we're going to have to go to where our strategic advantage is. And our strategic advantage here in America is in technology jobs. It is technology. It's not necessarily in manufacturing. I believe that technology first, if we can capture that market, then we can create subsidiary markets to help support the technology industry. That is what will create the manufacturing jobs and jobs in retail and jobs in other sectors. But the critical focus of our efforts has to be in creating technology jobs and preparing the workforce that can have those jobs and do those jobs effectively.
Mr. Richardson, I'm sorry again for
Oh, no problem.
missing over you.